Hello everyone, this is Aaron Becker and I'm back with another book review. Now, this book is called Failing Forward by John C. Maxwell. And as you can see, got a lot of notes out of this one, which is, fairly typical, right? I always have a bunch of things to learn from what I'm reading, which is why I read it. So, why this book? I read this book because it is part of our leadership study with my partners that my partners host each month. Let me just move this a little bit. Two, John C. Maxwell is a known leadership expert. His stuff is classic in the leadership world. People have been reading his stuff since the 90s when he started Enjoy Group. And then third is that we grow through our experiences into a better person and leader. And that's really true. It is all our growth as a leader, as a person, comes through experiences. Whether we go seek experiences, we go read something, whether we go do something, all of that creates who we are. It just adds on. As Chris Brady talks about his the ziggurat for pails, all those things become cumulative and we build up and we create a life that we really, really want. And I gotta tell you that I think this is my first John C. Maxwell book. I think I have seen some of his quotes and picked them up over the years, but I've got a ton of stuff out of here that I'm going to be adding because there's just so much great material in here. And I love his writing. It's easy to follow. I had not heard of this book until it was recommended for our book study this month. Excuse me. So I always look forward to those books that get recommended because I know that there's something in there that I need and that I'm going to be able to take out of and apply in my life. And that's really one of the things that leaders do, is that leaders seek personal growth. They look for it. They continue to work on themselves, trying to understand and figure out how best they can grow and develop. Another thing that leaders do is that they take ownership of problems and seek to solve them. That's one of the things that Mr. Maxwell talks about in this. He talks about his, I'm going to mess up her name. He talks about his assistant and how she had made mistakes and how she had then realized how bad she had messed up. And then she took ownership and she not only worked to repair the damage she had done, but she also then went above and beyond to show her growth and her leadership. And she became John C's personal assistant and became extremely trusted, or is extremely trusted. And the third thing that leaders do that I got out of this book is leaders willingly work with others to help them improve and grow. And that's one of the things that this young lady she had to go through is she had to be willing to be a student to John's partner, and she ended up having to start at the bottom again when she came back. But here's the thing. Excuse me. If we believe in our mission and our cause, then we're willing to do the work. It doesn't matter so much that we made a mistake, that we fell down, that we messed up here or there. It's the willingness. It's the willingness to go to work on ourselves and then to work with others to help them grow and improve. So I pulled six things out of here that I'm going to share, okay? And as you guys know, that's part of the big part of this, is because, my intention is to inspire somebody else to pick up a leadership book, to pick up a biography, which is also another great book for leadership, but to pick up something and read it. You may struggle with leadership books, and maybe you pick up Harry Potter. Maybe you could get Brandon Sanderson's Mistborn series. Maybe you get something else. But hopefully you'll also start picking up the leadership books. Because while you can find leadership examples in a lot of the novels I have on here, and there's a lot of good material in there, the best stuff will come out of the leadership books. The biographies, the autobiographies, books like this by John C. Okay. People think failure is avoidable. It's not. No matter where our circumstances are in life, we're going to have to deal with failure. And how you handle it, how you accept that in your life, and then move forward either through that experience, and it builds you, or you run from that experience and then you lose. That's because really that's the only really loss, is when we run from those experiences. Number 2, failure is simply a price we pay to achieve success. You go look at Michael Jordan, and he talks about all of the work he put in to becoming the basketball player he was. And in a lot of ways, there's not been another basketball player of his caliber. Because what Michael Jordan did is he left basketball for a season, and then he came back. When he came back, he became a better leadership student, and then he became a better leader. And I mean, he really, really helped change and grow that team, which I got to tell you is my favorite part of his story as a basketball player. Now, he's done some other things since then, and a buddy of mine tells me that he is the first billionaire basketball player. He's the first basketball player that has become a billionaire. And he's done some smart things. So, all right, number 3. Michael Korda said, success on any major scale requires you to accept responsibility. In the final analysis, the one quality that all successful people have is the ability to take on responsibility. And that is really key, is to accept responsibility for something and go and just take care of it. Personal example, in my current career, I take a lot of responsibility for things and work to make things better, because it makes a huge difference for my team that I work with. And one of the lessons I learned growing up around the Army is that the best leaders are ones that lead by example. And that to me has always been how I've tried to be a leader, is just by being a good example and the best that I can. And I've made mistakes. You guys know that. So, number 4. Sooner or later, we get just what we expect. And I love that, because thoughts are things. What you think about, what you expect, what you envision becomes your reality. And one of the things that is huge in The Ant and the Elephant, if you guys may remember, is visualizing that future, what it is you want. Getting that elephant to turn in the direction of your ant and getting them to communicate together. And how powerful that is, I didn't realize until learning that. And what I hope you guys will understand and see is that leadership is about taking responsibility and leading into a bright new future. Now, it may not always seem as bright as you want it to be. And there are days when, I struggle with my belief. But those are days when I get on my knees, I get into scripture. Again, I'm a Christian, so that's typical for me. And I work on myself. I work on my thinking. And sometimes it means I pull up quotes. I mean, you guys see I publish quotes on all my social media, and that's because those are things that inspire me and get me out of here and back to here and feeling towards what I want to achieve. All right, number 5. One reason God created time was so that there was a place to bury the failures of the past. And that's by James Long. And I love this quote because one of the things that we have to be willing to do is let some of those past mistakes go. And that can be challenging, I'll admit. But if we take the lesson from that mistake, from that failure, from that win, and we carry the lesson forward with us, what it does is it strengthens us. It takes and adds to who we are. It fortifies our character and integrity, and it allows that to be an example to someone else. And going back to Stephen Covey and the 7 Habits, we don't really know how big of an impact our circle of influence becomes when we work on ourselves. Sometimes we get a glimpse, sometimes we get an idea, but in reality, a lot of the time, we don't see how far that influence goes. And I believe one day, many of us are going to be very, very surprised as we learn how much of an influence we had because of the things that we chose to do, the leadership, where we stood up in our communities or in our family, our church, or in our jobs even, where we just stood up and we led with integrity and character, and we just led. We did what we needed to do. All right, the last one, number 6, is there are 3 things extremely hard: steal a diamond and to know oneself. And I got to tell you that I love this quote by Ben Franklin because he really nails that. To know ourselves, it's work. You and I have to be willing to put in the work to achieve whatever it is that we're working for. The goals, okay? Those goals that we're working for, those dreams, those ambitions that we have. We have to put in the work. In order to do that, we have to get to know who we are. And the things that we find that we don't like, we got to figure out how to eject them, remove them from who we are. One of the things I'm super, super grateful for is my mom telling me that her and my dad weren't perfect and that they made mistakes and that I needed to look outside of them into books, into people at church, into people in my community, and watch them, learn from them, and as she couched it, to find their roses, their good qualities, and to learn and adapt those to myself. So that way I could replace my thorns, my prickly parts, the parts that are not so good in my character. And it took me a while to get my head around that and understand it. But I'm so thankful that my mom loved me enough to challenge my paradigm of the world and to just love me, even though I was a pain in the butt teenager and I was making mistakes. And I know that while my dad, when I was younger, was not great at telling us he loved us, I love the fact that today, not only is he proud of what our lives have become, but he willingly will tell us that he loves us. My parents are amazing, and I'm super thankful for them. And I'm willing to bet that your parents are amazing too. There are lessons that you've taken from their lives that maybe you haven't even realized that you've taken. Sometimes it's the lessons from their failures. Sometimes it's lessons from their successes. But don't let all of their thorns negatively impact your relationship. Love them anyways. All right. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you. Thank you so much for joining me. If you enjoyed this video, if you like this video, Please like it. Click down below and subscribe if you haven't done that yet. I am looking to help people that feel stuck in their career. They've been in the same spot. They haven't been able to move up. They haven't been able to pick up a different job that would allow them to grow. And that's one of the things that I do in my coaching program is I help people get past those roadblocks and become hireable, promotable. I love it. I love what I do. So you can connect with me at turningleafs.com. That's LEAFS.com. And on there's a Calendly link at the bottom of the page. I'm going to drop it in the description below. And get a free 30-minute session with me. Come get to know me. Because here's the thing. If you're willing to learn and grow, we can work together. We really can. I hope you guys go out and make it a great day. You guys go out and make it a great week. I'm loving this time of year right now. Temperature's nice. So guys, go out. I will talk to you later. Share this video, please. Subscribe. My goal is to reach 25,000 people this year with these videos. Because I'm looking to help as many people as possible. Whether you're just here for the videos, you follow me on social media for the quotes, and that's good, or you need some coaching. Go to the book page, find the book list, get a book or two, and read them. All right, take care. Love you guys.